Joe here with Carolina Supercars. I'm with James Ford, the owner of this Mustang GT. James, what makes this such a great sports car?
Honestly, I love the all-around package. It's not going to be the fastest sports car in the world, but it definitely will leave you with a smile on your face, and it's just great for every day.
So James, tell us about the engine in this car.
Well, Joe, it's got a 4.6 liter V8, pushing about 325 foot-pounds of torque and 315 horsepower.
So to get up the road, won't it?
Yeah, it'll get you up to 60 in about 5 seconds.
Now, have you done any types of wheel spin or anything like that with
Oh
it?
yeah, it'll definitely keep the wheel spinning.
Now, I know you guys know this, but Mustangs are known for burnouts. So, I mean, that's a popular thing to do with the car.
Definitely. Mustangs actually still follow that same pony car tradition, where you just cheap car that gets you a lot of power. It'll definitely light up the tires.
Sure. And one thing I noticed about this car is it has this upper strut bar here to give it some support in the upper engine bay.
Yeah, this particular model has the track pack on it, which they're rated around 0.91 Gs on the turns.
Okay. And then also with this engine, you've got your cold air box up here, which you could probably do some different upgrades and things like that if you wanted to later. Do you have any plans that you're going to do with the car? Maybe some different upgrades down the line?
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to be looking into a cat back exhaust in the near future here, and possibly a supercharger.
Now, James, have you always been a fan of the Mustang?
I've always been a fan of the older, original Mustangs, especially the fastback 69. As far as the newer Mustangs, I wasn't really a huge fan of them. I actually had a very strong dislike of them due to my previous car being a Camaro. However, after driving it and actually getting the experience in the wheel time, the time behind the wheel, it really just became more natural for me to get a Mustang as opposed to a newer Camaro.
Now, everybody's thinking this right now. You had a Camaro and you changed over to a Mustang. So that had to be a pretty big impression for you to make that move.
Yeah, it was a very hard decision for me to make because of that Camaro Chevy fan base and Ford being the arch enemy. However, when it came down to what I was looking at out of a car, as far as being a good all-around car, as far as being very practical in everyday life, it got a ton of trunk space, and just not really looking to be the guy with the biggest engine on the block.
And as you said, it's a very user-friendly car, so you can go to the store. You've got a trunk, which is kind of nice.
Yeah.
There's some neat aspects to it. Now, your last Camaro was the previous generation Camaro that had the hatchback in the back. How do you feel about the trunk versus a hatchback now?
Honestly, I like the looks of the hatchbacks a little bit more normally. However, the trunk space, I mean, it's got about the same trunk space that my old Mazda 6 had, which is that's no compromise right there. And it's, like I said, one of those cars you can just drive to the grocery store and actually be practical with.
Now, do you find yourself being a fan of the Mustang after this conversion process here?
I'm a fan of the GT Mustangs. I've never really been a fan of the V6 engines in American sports cars, just because to me it contradicts what America, for me, stands for as far as a car culture.
So James, are there any interesting stories maybe associated with this car?
Well, Joe, I just got it probably about 2 weeks ago, so I haven't really had it for too long. But I do remember my first experience with the heated seats. I turned them on and was coming back from the dealership and didn't realize that I had turned them on prior. And I remember, sitting there driving and I'm like, why's my butt warm?
So that makes it a hot ride, right?
Yeah.
As you guys can see, this is a very special car, and it's another one of the sports cars that's a part of our Carolina Supercars sports car group. And just like James has explained here, each person's car is a very special piece of their life. And this is a neat car, and we accept all types of two-door rear-wheel drive sports cars, and we'd love for you to drive with us if you're not already involved with us. You can hit our website up at www.carolinasupercars.com, or you can find us on Facebook. Until then, we'll check you the next time.